number 32, Acid Rain. 789, Stormy Sea. 813, Mullet. 84, Chemical X.
Before Mullet can get any points.
All right, just like that, 30-second jam. In 30 seconds more, we'll be right back into jam number 2. We have Descent for Wasatch going up against Frightmare. Dallas will start with one player in the penalty box. They're off. Frightmare to the inside, sent to the out. Sent, staying in, no, not quite, and is going to be recycled back. Wham Bam there to meet him. Frightmare pushing, falling, back up and through. Nice assist by Roxy. Sun with the helmet cover off as Frightmare looks to go on a scoring run of their own. Pushing through, falling down, back up, lots of bodies, turn number 3. And down is Frightmare, and they call that one off.
Alrighty, 3 quick points there for the Devils. And lined up, we've got Rollerena for Wasatch. And Twinkle Toes for the Devils. And the defenders are giving him some space to breathe. They get a running start and crash in. Rollerena smashes through the middle. She's got the lead jam position, while Twinkle Toes gets recycled back to the back of the pack. Rollerena is coming through with a quick little spin move there. Past all the defenders, another successful scoring pass. And it looks like Twinkle Toes has made it through. They've got the cap back on their head and ready to rumble. The pack is moving, give them a little bit of breathing space. Rollerena comes in, sweeps to the inside, and calls off the jam before Dallas can get too close in there. We got looks like 6 points there, and Dallas managed to squeak out 1 point on that last jam.
Mullet out for Wasatch, Princess Slay out for Dallas. Penalty box is clear. We're right back into it. Mullet smashing into the tripod. Princess Leia juking and moving laterally around, getting some offensive help from blocking us. And it is Leia out for lead. Now on a scoring run, slams hard into 4 Wasatch defenders. Looks like we will have a penalty. We have a cut track call. We'll see who leaves the track here. Oh, no, it is the Dallas Jammer going to the box. So power jam opportunity for Mullet. Lead has been lost. This is going to go the full 2 minutes. Still 70 seconds left in the game, or in the jam. Mullet with 1 to beat, and does. Spins and stays in. And that'll send a Wasatch that's probably popped that will be sent to the box. Mullet puts down a shoulder, slams in there. Back block call on Mullet though, so that'll send them to the penalty box. And there's a what? Here a bunch of whistles going on, but yeah, it's right now Loch Ness Monster is the jammer for Dallas. Hard shoulder by Crimson Slayer. Puts him down. Chemical X goes to the penalty box for Wasatch. Blockness makes her way through as Mullet is back out on the track, fighting for points. Time runs out. And we have, at the end of that, let's see, a 6-4 jam, and the advantage goes to Wasatch. So we're tied up at 12.
Got Animal Style up against Zen of the jam line. Defenders get ready. It looks like they are going to give some runway there for the jammers. Animal Style slips through the middle, has the lead jam position. And it looks like Zen's got held up there by the Dallas wall. They're shoving Zen back. Zen found a way through the outside. Zen's through on a score with the initial pass now. Animal Style fighting their way through the defenders and made it past the last one and called off the jam. This looks like we got 3 points there for Dallas and 0 for Wasatch.
Quick, low-scoring jams is the story so far in this game, but there's still a lot of time to go. Roller Rain out there for Wasatch going up against Frightmare. Wasatch will start with 1 defender in the box. Frightmare to the outside, Roller Rain to the outside, but quickly shifts in. Frightmare muscles their way through for lead. Oh, a forearm call on Frightmare sends him to the box. Still have a lead being open. Rollerena can still take the lead in this jam. Turn number 2, a lot of colliding going around. Loch Ness pushes down Rollerena. Rollerena calling for some offense. Track cut call. Let's see, it'll be Blockness of Dallas going to the box. Rollerena still fighting, trying to get that. Oh, we do have a high block. That sends Roxy to the box. Now there's only 2 defenders out there for Dallas. And there are bodies, including ref bodies, falling down. Randa gets lead on that one and just quickly calls that one off to end that jam.
Got an aggressive start here to this game. Lined up, we have Mullet jamming for Wasatch, and Twinkle Toes is up there for Dallas. And it looks like we've got a couple Dallas members in the penalty box. Jammer on jammer action there at the beginning. Mullet pulls out in front, has the lead jam. Mullet's zipping around the horn here, getting ready to score some points. Twinkle Toes knocked down in the middle of the track there. Mullet tries to squeak by, gets knocked down, has to get recycled way back, to almost to the jam line. Twinkle Toes is trying to fight through that Wasatch wall. Mullet with a quick little spin move there, down to the last defender. Didn't quite make it. It nudged Mullet out in the middle, so Mullet's got to go back to the pack and try again. And Twinkle Toes is down to the last defender for Wasatch as well. Twinkle Toes made it onto a scoring pass now. And Mullet has called off the jam. Looks like 4 points for Wasatch there. Neck and neck game.
Pulling ahead just by one on that last jam is Wasatch, but we could be looking at several lead changes as this game goes on. Princess Slay out there for Dallas going up against Zen. All right, we are off to the start of the 4-3 blocker advantage for Wasatch. Both jammers putting the shoulder down, trying to shove their way on through. Draws a multiplayer penalty, does Zen. Zen is out for lead. Whole lot of aggressive play, a lot happening out on the track right now, but the story right now is Zen for 4 points. A lot of bodies hitting the ground, a lot of hard hits out there. Zen crashes into Blockness. Blockness does not go down. Said recycles them back, just as Roxy now is your jammer for Dallas. Then calls that one off before Roxy can threaten that lead. Was able to pull up 7 points before calling that one off. So Wasatch extending their lead, but only by 8.
Animal Style and Roll Arena lined up to jam now. Looks like Wasatch is starting with one blocker down, so slight advantage here off the line to Dallas. That's the whistle. Reina gets held up in traffic behind the wall of Dallas. Animal Style is going left, right. Finally squeezed through in the middle, or the inside of the track. So Animal Style has the lead jammer. Roll Rain has made it through the pack, and it's making up ground now. Animal Style hops into the center and calls off the jam before Reina can get to the pack.
A lot of whistles out there. I see a lot of directionals and multiplayers being called. So hopefully these teams can get their penalties under control. Now that could definitely affect the final score of the game, whoever has the least amount of penalties. Mullet is out there for Wasatch with the star up against Frightmare. So again, Frightmare sneaking through on the inside for lead. Mullet gets hit but stays in, but it is Frightmare with the lead. Frightmare looking for some offensive help. Coming up quick is Mullet. Mullet is out and through for 4. Frightmare being held up by a really solid Wasatch tripod. Crimson Slayer getting right in her space, but Frightmare finds a way through just as Mullet gets through for 4 more. Hard hit at turn number 1. Both players getting up though. Mullet through for once again. Multiplayer will send, looks like 2 players of Wasatch are going to the box, and there's be 2 different penalties being assessed there. So Wasatch will start this one with 2 players down. That could definitely help out Animal Style as they take the star for Dallas.
Got a whistle. Looks like we've got an official timeout here. So we're going to take a breather. We're just shy of halfway through the first period of play.
I'd like to thank our sponsors, the Pie Pizzeria, been voted Utah's best pizza, providing top quality handmade pizza, salads, subs, and more for over 40 years. So a special thank you to 187 Killer Pads and the Derby Warehouse, and Dick's Sporting Goods, who provided a generous donation to Wasatch Junior Roller Derby through their Dick's Sports Matters grant. For our local fans here, we could help us find a new home. We will be losing the Derby Depot, so we need to continue having great tournaments such as this. We will need a new space to do so. So if you have any leads on a new space, contact your local lead board. Let them know. Coming up next weekend, Wasatch Roller Derby has a home game, Love Hurts, on Saturday, February 7th.
All right, rolling whistle means that's the end of the timeout. We are back to the action. Looks like Wasatch is down a couple blockers, and Animal Style tiptoeing around but stepped out of bounds. Got to go back. Meanwhile, Zin is trying to push their way through 3 humans, not having any luck. Little jammer on jammer as Zin tries to knock Animal Style out. Animal Style makes it through. In front is the lead jammer, and Zin going a little too fast, had to step out of bounds and gets recycled way back to the top of the track. Animal Style on the run. Quick 4 points there and going around to get some more. Zin knocked down, popping right back up to get through. Meanwhile, we've got Animal Style coming around the inside. Nudge to the middle, trying to get past the wall of Wasatch. It's 1-on-4. Animal Style managing to juke around a couple, but ended up having to go back to the back of the pack. And not to be stopped, jumping over the apex there. Animal Style out again and on another scoring pass. Zen's having trouble getting past those Dallas defenders. They're putting up a heck of a fight, making it impossible almost to get through. Zen hits the floor, bounces back up. Animal Style sweeps around a couple more defenders, and they've made it through. We got a star pass for Wasatch. New jammer is going to be Bad Cop. That's Bad Cop in the jam position for Wasatch. Pack is on the move. Bad Cop's made up some ground, caught up to Animal Style. Animal Style calls off the jam. Big 16 points in that last jam for Dallas, and only 1 for Wasatch. That lead is switched. We got Dallas leading by 4.
Yeah, there we go. That lead change, that's going to happen several more times as we're down into the last half of our first period. Princess Leia out there for Dallas. Going up against Rollerena. Rollerena to the outside, pushing through. Princess Leia makes their way around and through. So we have a no pass, no penalty call on the track. Slay is lead, coming in, scoring pass. Manages to stay right up on their feet. Great footwork. 4 points. That'll extend Dallas's lead. A lot more hard-hitting derby that we've been coming to see. We do have a star pass, Chemical X, now the jammer for Wasatch. Meanwhile, Slaya being recycled back, looking to get more points. Chemical X is through. Slaya trying to force their way for points, calls it off. I don't know, no in time. No, not in time. Chemical X with the apex jump gets all 4 points.
Right, we've got Mullet up on the line for Wasatch, going up against Twinkle Toes, I think. Twinkle Toes, yep, for Dallas. Defenders are going to get right up in their grills, give them no space to start with. Mullet doesn't care, shoves right through in front. We got a multiplayer called on Dallas, so one defender's headed to the box. Have a half minute of silence, contemplation. Mullet squeaks out in front. They have the lead jammer position. And Wasatch putting up some great defense to keep Twinkle Toes back. And Mullet spins around, little backward skating action there. Still in the lead, and Twinkle Toes has made it through the initial and is on the way for a scoring pass. Mullet decides to end things before Twinkle Toes can get up there to the pack.
Dallas just holding on to a lead. Frightmare's back out there going up against Sun. Three on three with the blockers. No, 4 on 3. Wasatch with the advantage. Wasatch lining up right at that jam line. Right in front of them, though, is Dallas. Frightmare, sneaky, on through. Takes that inside track, and despite the whole sea of bodies in their way, gets the lead. Frightmare on now with a scoring run. Slams hard into Crimson. Crimson getting some good assists from Brawley Pop. Frightmare knocked out, recycled back. But down onto the ground goes Zen. The action at turn number 2. Frightmare still trying to get some more points on this, decides to call that one off. They were able to get 3 points before calling it off, so it is still a lead. That goes to Dallas Derby Devils.
Team timeout for Wasatch. That's going to give these skaters just a quick little breather before things get back into it. Really intense first half.
And we have more roller derby coming up this month for those of you in the area. In addition to the Wasatch Roller Derby home game on the 7th, we also have Uinta Roller Derby of the home game on February 21st. Then there will be a doubleheader game on February 28th. That will be Wasatch Junior Roller Derby and Wasatch Roller Derby, the adult league, will be doing a doubleheader fundraiser to assist with one of our players' medical bills from torn ACL. And that will be Saturday, February 28th.
All right, that sound means the timeout is over. Team has taken the track again. We've got Chemical X jamming for Wasatch and Animal Style up for Dallas. Both teams' defenders are starting back, giving a little bit of space to those jammers. And off they go. Animal Style trying to find a way through the middle. Squeaks around to the outside. Chemical X in there pushing through the middle, but Animal Style gets out in front, lead jammer position, and Animal Style is on the run. Chemical X almost made it past, but those defenders have regrouped, and now X is stuck back there behind him. Animal Style is having some difficulties of their own, though, trying to get past those Wasatch defenders. And they bridged a bit to get a little more time, but Animal Style made it through and called off the jam quickly.
Low scoring jams, but they are going to the favor of Dallas. That is extending their lead out once again to 11. Twinkle Toes back out for Dallas, going up against Mullet. Right now, both teams starting up at that pivot line. May move back as things get going. Wasatch players standing in the penalty box. We are off once again. Mullet crashes in and tries to spin around, but is caught, but puts the shoulder down and keeps shoving. Meanwhile, Twinkle Toes with some lateral movement of their own, trying to bust up that tripod of Wasatch, but it is Mullet that is out first. And it looks like there has been a star pass to Roxy. Mullet for 4 points. Getting the call to call that one off. So ending that little run of that Dallas had going of commanding every jam. Now the Wasatch Junior Rollers right back into striking distance and taking back that lead.
With a 7-point lead, Dallas is queued up with Frightmare to jam. Zinn representing for Wasatch. And they are off. Zinn sweeping to the outside, pushing through the middle. Little pile up there in the middle. Frightmare got around it and almost past the defenders. Frightmare is your lead jammer out in front there. Zinn got trapped behind those Dallas defenders, but now they're through. Now they're on the move. The pack is moving. Zinn's got half a track to catch up to him. And Frightmare spinning around, hits the deck, back up on their feet to call the jam off before Zinn can get too close to the pack.
Yeah, Frightmare's a sneaky jammer. Looks like there's a bunch of people in their way, but then they emerge on the other side of it all. Crimson Slayer out with the Jam Star for the first time for Wasatch in this game. Going up against Animal Style. Getting a lot of noise this crowd. Let's keep it up. Right into the teeth of the respective defenses go both jammers. Fighting for that coveted lead position. It is Animal Style, though. That impressive footwork that they have. But not far behind is Crimson Slayer. A lot of speed built up is Animal Style. Looks like they got a few points before calling. No, they got all 4 points to Animal Style. Managed to swing their hips by all 4 defenders. Called that one off. And that brings up Dallas 62-48.
Dallas pulling ahead a little bit further, but definitely not far enough ahead to be comfortable. We've got Mullet jamming here for Wasatch, and Princess Leia is up for Dallas. Defenders gave him some track to work with. Mullet slams into defenders, takes one down to the ground, trying to get past that last defender, down to the ground himself. Mullet's out in front with the lead jam position. Here he goes around the bottom of the horn, trying to get in some points now. Dallas attempted to pass the star, but didn't quite make it. Looks like it's complete now. So we got a star pass for Dallas. New jammer, and into the jam there. And we've got an official review called by Wasatch.
Yeah, story so far, these last few jams have just been a couple low-scoring jams, but either Wasatch crawling up to take that lead away, or Dallas just extending it enough to try to feel a little bit safe. We are exactly at the 6-minute mark in our first half. I'm sure both these teams would really love to go into that intermission with feeling good, being in the lead.
Alrighty, folks, we've got the verdict already. Wasatch will not retain their review. They were requesting a call just after the star pass happened. Referees did not see contact, so the call stands, or no call stands, and we are back to the action.
All right, Roll Arena back out there against Animal Style. Ooh, hard hit out on the track. Several hard hits out on the track. Lead still open. Roll Arena not quite able to break through. Animal Style still trying to fight for and gets lead jammer. Animal Style coming around on a scoring pass with a lot of speed. Takes that outside line, stays in. Roll Arena is going to the penalty box. We have a power jam opportunity for Dallas. Big opportunity for Dallas to really extend that lead that they've had going on here. Crimson Slayer right there to stop Animal Style on the outside. Animal Style, though, weaving their way through. Gets 4 points, calls it off. We're going to have ourselves a power start in favor of Dallas.
Got Twinkle Toes up jamming for Dallas. And Wasatch defenders are making some final decisions on defense strategy. And there they go. Start to the action. Twinkle Toes trying to get through the inside. Sweeps to the outside. Still held up by those Wasatch defenders. Roll Arena's back in now for Wasatch. An easy skippity jump over the little step over the apex there. And Roll Arena is your lead jammer. Twinkle Toes is getting held up by those defenders. Wasatch. Arena crashes hard into the pivot from Dallas. Makes their way through, though. Roll Arena out for another 4 points. We've got a star pass for Dallas now. Looks like the new jammer for Dallas is going to be Obliviate, number 8 for Dallas. Roll Arena hops into the apex and calls off the jam before Obliviate can make too much happen. Quick strategic call off there.
All right, now we have Dallas with an official review. Okay, getting that information to you, what they wish to challenge on that last jam. Everybody kind of resting and stretching out right now. 3 minutes and 22 seconds left in this half. This has been, I know the last game was very high scoring. This one's been pretty low scoring, but every bit of physically intense. Yeah, there's a 101.
Alrighty, this just in. Dallas will retain the official review. They were looking for a cut track call on the Wasatch Jammer, and the officials agree with that. So Wasatch Jammer will be assessed that penalty and spend some time in the penalty box. Dallas retains that official review.
So big power start opportunity here for Animal Style. Definitely someone who can put up some numbers. So this will help Dallas. Right now they've got themselves a 14-point lead, and I'm sure they'd like to extend that out to be a little bit safer. And our game is on. Looking for some offensive help is Animal Style, and they take a hit. Keep on going though. Lead is Dallas. A lot of speed, a lot of agility. See what they can do on their scoring run. Got a couple points, but knocked back for it to be recycled. Rollerena back on the track just as Animal Style gets through for 4 points. So on initial is Rollerena. Animal Style approaching the pack. Reyna takes a big hit from Blockness. Looks like a direction call on Blockness sends them to the box. Reyna getting one-on-one with Roxy. Roxy doing a really good job holding them back. Animal Style is also getting recycled back. So great defensive play from these two teams. We do have penalty, or the jammer pass to Crimson. However, Crimson is going to the penalty box as the jammer. So Animal Style has more room to work with. Does not make the apex jump. Right now has 8 points on the jam, calls that one off. And that is going to be another power start for Dallas as we are 1:30, about 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the game, in the half.
All right, we got Frightmare up there to jam for Dallas. And they're off. Frightmare's trying to sneak through the inside. Didn't quite make it past Bad Cop and gets recycled back to the starting jam line. Bad Cop gets taken down. Frightmare slips out in front, is now the lead jammer. Try to capitalize on that last bit of penalty time where Wasatch is without a jammer. Here's Frightmare coming up to the pack and trying to get through on the inside. Didn't make it. Looking to the outside. Wasatch jammer hops over a body and is out in front now. That's Crimson Slayer for Wasatch. And Frightmare manages to get past the last defender of Wasatch and is on another scoring pass. Crimson knocked out of bounds, has to go back to the back of the pack. Frightmare is pushing right in between those defenders, but didn't quite make it. Skate went out of bounds, so they've got to go back to the back of the pack too. Crimson muscling through, gets past those defenders, going around for some more points. Frightmare manages to find an opening on the outside, gets the 4 points, and calls the jam off. And that is the end of the first half, folks.
All right, rolling whistle makes it official. We are at halftime. Be sure to visit the concession stands, visit the merch stand, support Juniors Roller Derby. We will be back here in just about 15 minutes. Quick an announcement. There was a cell phone that was found in one of the restrooms. We'll have that up at the concessions table. If you lost your cell phone, go up to the concessions table and be able to describe it and reclaim your phone. Thank you. We have Animal Style versus Zen right at the top of the second half. Both charging in. Animal Style finds daylight on the outside, gets through for lead. They are hard to stop. Very agile, jukey jammer. Animal Style coming around now for their scoring run. To the outside. Got 3 points. May have gotten all 4 points, but not through the pack yet. Now Zen coming around on a scoring run of their own. Onto the inside. Slides on through for 4. Animal Style stuck behind a wall. Calls it off. Maybe not before Zen could score. Still 1 more point for Wasatch. No, 2 more points for Wasatch. But all 4 points were scored by Animal Style before they called that one off. So 6-4 advantage at the start for Wasatch Junior Rollers.
All right, we got Frightmare jamming for Dallas, and looks like Crimson Slayer is up for Wasatch. And off they go. Crimson cuts through the middle, goes to the outside, finds their way around. Crimson is the lead jammer. Frightmare gets knocked down in the center of the track, has to get recycled back to the jam line. Crimson's on a scoring pass, smashes into the defenders, calls an end to the jam quickly.
All right, 404 Twinkle Toes in white going up against 813 Mullet in red. Wasatch is without a pivot at the beginning of this jam. Both jammers to the outside. Twinkle Toes to the end, but on the outside, Mullet finds the room to get through. Mullet crashes into the defenders. Twinkle Toes finds a way out for initial, but 4 points for Mullet. Big race around the track now. Mullet reaches the pack first, gets by a few defenders, gets by all four, calls it off. And they are closing up on that lead that Dallas had at the beginning of the half. 15-point game.
Zen's up on the line for Wasatch, going up against Animal Style for Dallas. A couple quick jammers here. And there's the whistle. Off they go. Zen decides to take the path right through the middle of some people. Animal Style is trying to get around the outside. Can't quite make it. Tries the inside. There's an opening. Animal Style's lead jammer. There they go. Zen got knocked to the ground. Back up on their feet. Knocked down again by Wham Bam, looks like. And no, that was Blockness. Excuse me. Here's Animal Style with a little fakey move, trying to get past the defenders. Didn't quite get it. Zen smashes into the back of the wall. Takes some people down. Animal Style's through again with another scoring pass. And it looks like Zen got recycled way back to the back of the pack. So while they try to find a clearing through, Animal Style is weaving in and out, trying to juke out these defenders. Looks like it worked. Found opening on the outside. There goes Animal Style. We've got a star pass, though, for Wasatch. Here comes Chemical X, the new jammer for Wasatch. And wasting no time. And we got Animal Style taken down there at the end of the jam.
It's only 5 minutes into our second half, and we've already got a ton of action happening. Crimson Slayer back out as jammer, going up against Frightmare. Both teams up at the pivot line. Slayer with some jammer on jammer contact. Slayer fighting for it, gets the lead. Frightmare now on through the pack itself. Teams racing up ahead, trying to get in front of each other. Slayer zigzagging their way on through, gets all the way through. Frightmare held to no points as Slayer goes around for 4 and calls that one off.
And it looks like Dallas has reached triple digits now with 19-point lead on Wasatch. Mullet is queued up to jam for Wasatch. Going up against Twinkle Toes here for Dallas. There's the whistle. There they go. Mullet tries the inside, can't make it. Twinkle Toes goes through the middle to the inside, and it's lead jammer. Mullet's getting shoved around at the back of the pack. Seems to have found a clearing through half the defenders. And Twinkle Toes is approaching now on the first scoring run for this jam. Slams into the back of those Wasatch blockers. Mullet popped up on their feet. Pushes through the last defender. Now Mullet is through the initial pass and ready to score some points. We've got Twinkle Toes in the box for Dallas, so that's a power jam in favor of Wasatch. Blockers provide some support there. Mullet swings by the inside, scores a quick 4 points there. And around the horn to get some more. We've got Pack is moving away from Mullet. Mullet skips through on the inside. A little spin move there, gets some more points. And Twinkle Toes is back in the action, slams up against the Wasatch defenders, muscles through on the inside to get 4 points of her own. Mullet's back already, smashes through the middle of the pack to get more points. And Mullet is coming up against to the back of the pack. Twinkle Toes is bobbing around through the middle there. And it looks like we got a forearm penalty on Twinkle Toes. So we're going to finish this jam out with power play. Mullet's on their feet, pushing up against Block Nest Monster. Mullet hits the deck, bounces right back up. Little zigzaggy move, trying to get through. Mullet is shoving his way through. Getting down to the last defender. We got one more left to get past. Mullet made it through. That is the end of the time for that jam.
A lot of work by Mullet on that one, for sure. Crimson Slayer back out as jammer for Wasatch. Power start opportunity. Good chance for Wasatch. Grab lead. They're only down by 7 points, so it's been quite the comeback. So I'm sure they really want to get that lead position. Try to control that scoreboard. Try to control that clock. There is still plenty of time left in this second half, though. So whatever lead that the Wasatch may be able to gain, that's not a secure thing at all. They're going to have to fight for it.
Short little official timeout here to get scores straightened out, make sure all the points are counted correctly.
I'd like to announce that there was a phone found in one of the restrooms. If you are missing a phone, it is at the concession stand. Just be sure to describe the phone to the personnel at the concession stand, and we can get your phone back to you.
Right, business is taken care of. Wasatch has a power start here. Crimson Slayer up there with the defenders in front. And nice whip move there, Slayer, and then crashes into Block Nest Monster and hits the deck. Slayer's back up on her feet and pushing through, trying to get past Slayer, and as she did it, she's the lead jammer. And off they go. Twinkle Toes is back in the action and made it through the pack. So, I'm sorry, that is Roxy, not Twinkle Toes. Roxy's your jammer for Dallas. Crimson made it through, scored some points, ended the jam. Now both teams are over 100 points, and that lead has shrunk down to only 7 points.
Another interesting jammer matchup here. We got Mullet for Wasatch against Animal Style of Dallas. Penalty box is all clear. Full derby teams out on the track. Everyone going right up to that jammer line, going to try to cut off this momentum as soon as possible. Animal Style, though, can't be contained. Oh, nice moves by Mullet to stay just inside the lines, but it is Animal Style with the lead jammer. Gage Sears calls that in. We'll see what. It's like 1 point for Dallas and 3 points for Wasatch before that was called off. So great sprint by Mullet to get 3 points on that coming up from behind.
Great matchup here. These teams are neck and neck with scores. We've got Roller Rain up here for Wasatch going against Frightmare. Dallas. There's the whistle. There they go. Roller Rain crashes into the defenders. Looks like Frightmare's just trying to muscle through the middle too. Both jammers not wasting time with fancy footwork. And Frightmare is out in front with lead jammer position, but Roll Arena is right behind. Both jammers are on a scoring pass now. Pack is moving a little bit. We're going to see what happens. Frightmare gets past quickly and ends the jam. Looks like they called it just in time. No points for Wasatch on that jam. And 4 big ones for Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas is going to want to do everything they can to maintain that lead. Definitely want to call off those jams in a timely manner if they got that lead position. Wasatch is fighting up from behind to grab a win in this one. Crimson Slayer in against Animal Style. Have a penalty whistle called. That sends Slayer to the box, and now Animal Style with lead jammer and power jam. Pushes out Animal Style right at turn number 2, but they are quick on their feet and able to recover in a very fast manner. Animal Style trying to weave their way through, looking for points, knocking down their own players to get everything they can. They've got 4. Coming around for another scoring pass is Animal. Crimson Slayer back out on the track. Crushes into the tripod, does Crimson. Animals on their feet, weaving, juking, ducking around, trying to find some points. And Animal Style running through. For 4 points. Right now, 8-0 jam. And we have a successful star pass to Acid Rain.
Quick announcement, folks. We ask you if you brought the cowbells, please cease the cowbells till the end of the game. That's disturbing some of the athletes here. So end the cowbells, please. And we got an official timeout. So that's no more cowbell. All right, back to it. Looks like Mullet's jamming for Wasatch and nudged out of bounds here. And Frightmare's got lead jam position now for Dallas. I mean, Dallas is in control of the clock. Mullet with a little spin move made it through the pack and is now on a scoring pass. Frightmare made a pass, got some points there real quick. And Mullet wasted no time, spinning, and made it through. Looks like Mullet is headed to the box, though. We've got a penalty. That makes it a power jam for the next 30 seconds. Frightmare and the Dallas Derby Devils. Frightmare skips over through the inside, gets another quick 4 points, and calls off the jam. So that's going to make it a power start in favor of Dallas here for the next jam.
That's the advantage of having lead. You can control that clock, and if there's a jammer in the penalty box, you can give your team a penalty or a power jam or a power start right at the beginning of the next jam. That's why you see these teams fighting so hard for that lead jammer position. Meanwhile, Dallas has a team timeout that they are using to give 60 seconds to strategize and breathe. Just about at 15 minutes left in the half, so still plenty of game to go. Dallas is getting up there in points, but Wasatch is going to be fighting to claw their way back and take that lead away from them in the last half, in this last 15 minutes here of our second half. And just like that, we are going to be back into the action. Loch Ness Monster is going to be the jammer for Dallas this time around, as they have this power start advantage. Game is on. Loch Ness to the outside, swings right around that tripod. Loch Ness going into the teeth of the tripod, pushing, gets through for 4. Now the penalty box is clear. Loch Ness still making their way around on a scoring run. They are hard to stop.
Right. Jam is over. Looks like we've got an injury on the track. We're going to take a couple minutes and let the medics do their thing. It's like Crimson Slayer is going to be leaving the track under her own power. Always a good sign. Take a little seat over in the medic's corner and get taken care of. Righty. Oh, and it looks like we've got an official review called by Wasatch, so we're going to take a little pause here, and when we know what's going on, we will let you know what's going on.
It's one of those songs everyone knows the dance to, but not everyone gets it done in time. Like, HOA crap.
Alrighty, we've got the verdict in. Wasatch will not retain the official review. They're looking for a forearm call against the Dallas Jammer. Officials did not see that, so no call stands. And we are back to the action. We've got Animal Style up against Mullet at the jam line. There's the whistle, and there they go. Mullet's trying to tiptoe around the outside. Can't quite make it. Animal Style is having some troubles getting past the people. Mullet's out in front for lead jammer position. That Wasatch wall is getting tough to get by. Animal Style can't get it, but he managed to slip the jammer cap through. So Roxy's the new jammer for Dallas. And Mullet's on the move now, getting through with a scoring pass and ends the jam before Roxy can get close to the pack.
Right, Sen is out there against Frightmare. As we start jam number 14. A 4-3 blocker advantage to Wasatch. Frightmare pushing their way to the inside, Sen to the out, moving in. And Sen is through. He's gotten lead, but knocked out. But lead has been assessed to Sen as they get recycled back. Frightmare fighting through the pack, gets through the pack. Dallas blocker going to the bench. Sen calls that one before there can be any points assessed to Dallas, so it'll be a 0-0 jam.
As it stands now, Dallas has a 31-point lead over Wasatch. We've got just under 13 minutes of play left. Twinkle Toes is going to be jamming for Dallas, and Bad Cop is up for Wasatch. Those defenders sink right into the jam line, and off they go. Bad Cop is pushing through, get knocked into the center of the track. Twinkle Toes is trying to get past those defenders, but having a tough time, gets nudged out of bounds, has to come back to the back of the pack. We got some bodies hitting the floor, but they pop right back up. Bad Cop is trying really hard to push, but can't quite get past those last defenders. They keep reforming, and Bad Cop made it through. Bad Cop is the lead jammer. Twinkle Toes hit the deck. Back up. I'm sorry, the pivot hit the deck. Back up. And Bad Cop is going to capitalize on a little bit of confusion on the track for some more points. And they're going to run it. We got a star pass for Dallas, so we have a new jammer for Dallas. That is Roxy. Bad Cop slams up into the defenders and calls the jam off.
Wasatch within striking distance of taking the lead as we are down to 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Mullet out there against Animal Style. Again, two interesting jammers to watch. And definitely cover those lines very well. Hard to stop. Mullet slams into the tripod. Animal Style swings to the outside. Some good offense by Blockness. Now there's a race. Mullet is coming around just as Animal Style is your lead jammer. Animal Style swings to the outside. Mullet takes that inside track. It's all the way through. Neck and neck are the two jammers. Animal Style just slightly behind now. Mullet gets all the way through. A hard hit by Obliviate to knock out Mullet. And Animal Style makes their way through for 4 more points. Mullet swings around the inside. 2 more to beat, but no. Blockness is there to stop. Also assisted by Obliviate on that hit. Animal Style now on a tear, running through for 4 more points. Still just about a little less than a minute left in this jam. Animal Style's just continuing to run this thing. Mullet's being held up by some pretty solid blockers of Dallas. Animal Style through again. Now Mullet makes it through. Animal Style, though, looking for the coach, gets the signal to call off and does, but not before getting 16 points to Wasatch's 8.
Big jam there, pushing that lead just a little bit farther up for Dallas. Got Frightmare up at the jam line for Dallas, and Zen representing Wasatch. Walls of defenders are far away. There's the whistle. There go the jammers. Zen's looking for an inside track. Didn't find it. Frightmare found a way through the defenders, though. Frightmare is going to be the jammer. Zen found a way through now. Zen is on the scoring pass as well. Frightmare caught up to the pack and bounced off a couple people. Still pushing to try to get through, and does so. Frightmare made it through, calls it off, but not before Zen could whip around and score some points himself. Looks like that was the full 4 points. So 4-4 jam there.
Crimson's back out on the track as jammer for Wasatch, going up against Twinkle Toes. Both jammers to the outside. A whole lot of colliding going on. It's Crimson out first. Twinkle Toes being recycled back by Bad Cop. And it looks like a penalty assessed to Crimson as they go to the box. I think maybe there was a back block on that play. And there's a star pass given to, the little confusion on who is the jammer for Dallas. I don't know if they're counting these points that Blockness is making or not. We may have to have an official review or official timeout when this is over. No, they are assessing those points. Blockness is jammer for Dallas. Crimson Slayer back out on the track, jumping on through for 4 points. Blockness is through for 4 more. Crimson takes to the inside, swings to the outside, weaves on through the players, getting there 4. Blockness, still your jammer for Dallas, also trying to weave their way through some points. And does so. Going around and round are we in this on the track here. Crimson and Blockness trading points. Right now it is Blockness with the advantage, though, 16 points. And right now we are showing on the board 20 points by the Dallas Derby Devils to 8 of Wasatch.
Looks like there was a low block called there right before the jam ended, so it appears Dallas is going to be at least one player short here. Got Mullet up to jam for Wasatch, going against Animal Style. Mullet takes the outside route and secures lead jam position. Animal Style's dodging around the defenders, made it through the pack also. So both jammers are on scoring path and moving quickly. Mullet takes the outside, spins through to the middle, gets past some defenders and calls off the jam. Looks like 3 points were scored there before jam ended. And 0 points for Dallas on that one.
We are entering our final minutes of the game. Dallas coming in with some momentum now, but Wasatch is definitely going to be hungry enough to try to take this from them. Sen's out there against Frightmare. Moving around, trying to find some good positions. Wanting to stop these blockers, wanting that lead jammer advantage. Frightmare on the inside is through for lead. Sun trying to make their way past, with Blockness is right there to stop them. On the scoring run now is Frightmare. Frightmare pushing through, putting shoulder down, weaving through, trying to get it, but no, Brawly Pop is right there with the stop. And we do have a star pass. Bad Cop is now your jammer for Wasatch. Hard hit by Blockness. Frightmare on through, 4 points. And Frightmare calls that one off. And we are going to have perhaps an official timeout.
Going to give the skaters a little breather here, which I'm sure they need desperately. Had a long tournament, playing hard, not holding back at all.
This is the Derby Devils' last game of this tournament. Wasatch will have to play one more time tonight.
All right, that rolling whistle means the official timeout is over. Mullet and Animal Style are going to be the jammers this jam. And the whistle goes, nobody moves. And now they're going. Mullet decides to take the brute force method, try to push through. Animal Style dodged around and managed to get out in front. Animal Style is going to be your lead jammer. Looks like Mullet knocked out of bounds and recycled back, so they've got some ground to pick up. Animal Style is ready to score some points, though. Dodging to the outside. Quick feet there and scored some 4 points. Mullet is trying to find a way through, knocks over the pivot for Dallas. Gets bumped in return by Dallas blockers. Animal Style pulls up short of the Wasatch wall. Now they're trying to get through. Found a hole in the inside. So they are through, and Animal Style calls off the jam before Mullet can get very close to the pack.
2 minutes, 40 seconds left in the game. Dallas wanting to put everything into this one, as this is their last game of the tournament. Frightmare right back out there, the Jam Star, going up against Crimson Slayer. We are back into the action. A race going on right now between Crimson and Frightmare. Crimson, tough player, trying to put the shoulder down and bust their way through. Frightmare's got it, and successful is Crimson. We do have a star pass. Blockness Monster is your jammer for Dallas. Crimson, apex jump, lands it, calls it off. 4 points for Wasatch.
Got a quick lineup swap here, down to the last 90 seconds of the game, or of official time. Zin's going up against Animal Style. We've got full complement of blockers for both teams. The penalty box is empty. And there they go. Zin's up in the lead a little bit, crashing into the defenders. Animal Style with some quick footwork, trying to get around, but stepped out of bounds. Looks like they've got to go back. Zin manages to get through on the inside lane, and his lead jammer Zin's coming around quickly, but Animal Style found a way through and called off the jam.
That advantage getting that lead jammer. If you get recycled back, you can still always call that one off before that other team scores some points and does some damage on you. Clock winding down, looking at perhaps our last jam of the game. Frightmare out there against Acid Rain. Frightmare is going to the outside. Acid Rain to the out now as well. Good lateral movements from both. Make some noise for these teams. We are down to the last seconds. Make it loud in here. Frightmare trying to bust through the Wasatch line. Up ahead is Acid Rain. And it is Acid Rain with the lead. Play clock is down, jam clock still running. Acid Rain is your lead jammer. Frightmare recycled back by Chemical X. Shoving hard is Acid Rain, doing a good job. Still has one more to beat, but that is Block Nest. It's been a tough, and they shove them out right at the end, does Block Nest. Recycles Acid Rain back. Frightmare still trying to fight their way through a vicious wall of Wasatch players. Acid Rain being drawn back almost to the jam line. 50 seconds left on the jam clock. We do have a star pass being called. That is Obliviate. Acid Rain's forced to call that one off. That will end the game right now. Our unofficial score, 191. The Dallas Derby Devils win against Wasatch Junior Rollers, 142. Oh, a very intense game going on. That was a lot of physical action, a lot of hard-earned points going on there. Dallas just being able to push their lead more and more and more in that second half really spilled out that win for them.
Whistle means the score is official, and that game is over. Make some noise for these athletes. They gave it a lot.
All right, be sure to give a big round of applause to these two teams, the Dallas Derby Devils and Wasatch Assault. Up next, our game slotted for 3:30 is the Renegades up against the Killer Bees. Again, that is slotted for 3:30. They might be pushed back a little bit to give both teams some time to warm up. But we will be back with you here just shortly with more roller derby action.